Am I the asshole for using money we earmarked for our 6-month-old's college fund to buy back the exact 1972 Ford Bronco I owned as a teenager? So, how to begin with this? I realize that on paper, I am totally the asshole, but when you dig deeper into my motivations, I'm hoping it's more of a gray area than anything else, and maybe even I did the right thing. When I was a teenager, my dad bought me a classic 1972 Ford Bronco. It was my true passion, and I don't recall a memory from high school that somehow doesn't involve that truck. Plus, my dad and I would spend hours and hours working on it and went through that especially father/son rough patch when I was a teenager. It was always that Bronco that brought us back together. I made a huge mistake and sold the truck when I turned 19, and my dad died of a heart attack 2 months later. So while not logical, I've always felt a karmic connection between the two events. We had a baby in early February. She's our first and the light of my life. My wife is doing well, but she's back at work and she's realized that she hates all the daycares we've tried and really wants to be a stay-at-home mom. And plus, she's still very hormonal from delivery, lack of sleep, and breastfeeding, so she's having a rough time and is angry a lot. I guess I need to say this. 2 weeks ago, I was driving through our town's warehouse district and I saw a Bronco that was pretty beat up but resembled mine. I stopped just for nostalgia's sake, and the owner came out and let me take a look inside. My dad and I had glued a wheat penny under the dash as a sort of security measure. So I just sort of checked, and goddamn if it wasn't my Bronco. I asked him if he'd ever consider selling it. He said, actually, someone was on I-25 as we spoke from Colorado to buy it for $21,000. I freaked out and asked him if I could buy it right then and there for $23,000. He said if I could come up with the cash, yes. I had been procrastinating setting up a 529, so I had $12,000 in savings that my wife's parents had given us. I maxed out my credit card to Venmo, and my mom brought down a check for $4,000, and I fucking drove away in my old car. It was like a dream come true. Like a literal dream come true. It needs a lot of work I can't afford right now, but it's mine. Like in my driveway mine. Again, I can't even describe what a joy this is. My wife and her parents are furious with me. They feel I was deceptive, that a, quote, real man would have sacrificed anything and everything so my wife could be a stay-at-home mom with his kids, and that setting aside the money they gave us for a college fund was what it was intended for. My point is, my daughter is only 6 months old. We have 18 years to set up a college fund for her, but this Bronco means everything to me, and if I wouldn't have acted, it would have been gone forever. Now, it can be the same connection between me and my kids. To me, it's the literal meaning of happiness. Like I said on paper, asshole. Whole story, gray area. Am I the asshole for not picking up my kids because my wife brought a dildo into my house? Throwaway because my 32 male wife, 29 female, and I both frequent Reddit, and I don't want to be in the doghouse more than I am. My wife and I have been married for 7 years and have 2 children together, who are boys 4 and 2. On the 14th, my wife went out shopping, and I assumed it was just normal Christmas shopping, since it's getting to that time of year. She was gone several hours, and the boys were at my mother's house for a few hours, as she lives pretty close. I was planning to go pick them up around dinner time, so I was relaxing until then. I had the day off, and my wife has been a stay-at-home mom since our oldest was born. When she got home from the mall, I asked what she had gotten, and walked over to look through the bags with her. In one of the bags, I saw a dildo, and I can't explain why, but it made me mad. I just didn't want that around my kids. It feels really inappropriate, and if they found it, what then? I told her she had to take it back to the store, and she said they had a no-return policy. I said it wasn't even opened, and to at least try, but she wouldn't budge. So I put my foot down and told her that as long as that thing was in the house, our sons would be staying at their grandma's. She thought I was kidding, but I said I was dead serious. She said she'd leave to go get them herself, but I said I'd throw it away while she was out doing that if she did. Then my wife said she wasn't speaking to me until I go get the boys, and she told me to grow up. Now she's giving me the cold shoulder. I think she's the one who has to grow up if she thinks it's appropriate to have a dildo with kids around. I'm firm on this. My mother agrees with me, and the kids have a room there, so they're doing fine. So, am I the asshole?
My 27 female girlfriend of 2 years won't forgive me for cheating on my ex-fiancé, 28 female. But I'm 28 male at a loss. So I know the sub often quotes, once a cheater, always a cheater. I agree and disagree at the same time. I cheated on my ex-fiancé when I was 24. I had recently found out after my mother passed that she was not actually my mother, but my grandmother. My junkie sister who overdosed when I was 15 was actually my biomom. My fiancé at the time, Alma, told me that I needed to get over it because there was nothing I could do. She stopped wanting to talk to me, even if it was about her day, and I felt emasculated constantly. She refused to be intimate for months at a time, and I withdrew. We both stopped trying, but neither of us were ready to let go, as we were high school sweethearts and were afraid of being without each other. Long story short, I had a one-night stand. In the moment, it felt nice that someone was interested in my day, in me, and found me attractive. And then it felt like someone dropped a boulder on me. I told Alma immediately the day after, and we split up. I am by no means proud of myself for cheating. I felt sick to my stomach looking at myself and took a year to reevaluate my life. I moved apartments, hit the gym, ate better, tried Buddhism, and now I feel better. Alma and I even got together after the year to talk things out. She apologized for pulling away and I apologized for cheating. We forgive each other. We'll never be great friends again, but I feel better knowing that we won't cringe when we see the other person. I met my now girlfriend, Sasha, at a mutual friend's party. I got her number and we really hit it off. When we broached the conversation about past relationships, I told her what happened between me and Alma. I told her that if she had any questions or if this made her feel uncomfortable, then to let me know. She seemed fairly understanding, though she had never cheated or been cheated on, and we continued to have a wonderful relationship. We moved in together in November. Now, about the end of February, she started to become increasingly curious about the cheating. She asked me if the one-night stand that I ever talked after, if she knew I had a fiancé, if Alma wanted to try and work things out, or if I ever tried to get with other women in relationships, etc. I answered her honestly to all, and let her know that if she's concerned that I'm going to cheat again, I'll keep my electronics and such open to her. Things seemed to be alright for a bit, until I noticed that Sasha was compulsively going through my electronics. She didn't ask me any more questions regarding my infidelity, but just became very jealous and controlling. For example, 3 weeks ago I had to take my computer to the shop because it had been acting buggy. Come to find out that a keylogger of some sort had been installed in my computer. I brought this up to Sasha, and she asked why I took my computer in, that it worked fine for her, and that maybe it downloaded when I went into some adult site. Another example would be Alma messaging me on Facebook last week, wondering why I sent her and another girl from high school text messages. I had no idea what she was talking about, and she sent me screen caps from a cell phone number that's obviously mine. The texts weren't inappropriate, but obviously out of place. They just tried to strike up a conversation, but were obviously not done in my tone. Again, I asked Sasha, and she seemed genuinely clueless and baffled. I checked my online account, and it confirmed that the messages were sent from my phone. Yesterday, Sasha and I went out to celebrate her friend Danielle's promotion. When Sasha went to the bathroom, Danielle brought up cheating. She told me about his ex that cheated on her all the time and cheated in all of his relationships. Once a cheater, you know. I told her that for some people that's true, but I think once a cheater should be reflective of the relationship that someone cheated in. I always know Alma will see me as a cheater. I can't take that away, but I never want to cheat again. I never want to step into a relationship and be treated like a cheater. I explained this to Danielle without referencing my past infidelity. She laughed and told me I deluded myself, and that Sasha better keep her eye on me. Sasha came back and I excused myself and told Sasha I felt sick and wanted to go home. She wanted to stay and I said I could just Uber. So I Ubered home and watched some Netflix. Sasha came home a little tipsy and began to slyly ask if I came home immediately or if I detoured. I asked her why she was being so distrustful, as I felt like not giving her any reason not letting me. She went silent then excused herself to go to bed. When I joined her, she was on the laptop and slammed the shut everything I feel I can't help alleviate any worries of cheating. I've done my best to be a better person than who I once was. I'm at a loss and don't know if this is a normal reaction when you date someone who was cheating. Is this worth salvaging with Sasha, or should I just cut it down?
Hi guys, thank you for watching. I love you guys so much. Please like and subscribe to see more great videos. See you again.